the shadow. Once upon a time, there was a hungry dog searching for food. After a long, exhausting search, the dog smelled a delicious aroma. So he went closer and found a piece of meat. He was delighted, picked it up, and decided he would return home to eat and rest. But to reach his house, he had to cross a wooden bridge over a lake. While he was passing, he looked at the lake and saw his shadow reflected on the water's surface. He thought there was another dog carrying another piece of meat. The dog thought for a moment and decided to take the other piece of meat as well. So he attacked his reflection in the water, and the piece of meat he was carrying fell into the water, sank deeply, and disappeared. The dog came out of the water wet and unhappy after he lost his piece of meat and returned home with no food at all because of his greed. The dog learned that being content and satisfied leads to happiness. Greed leads to misery. Donkey. William, the salesman, used to go to the market every day to sell the salt he carried on his donkey's back. On their way, they had to cross a small bridge to reach the market. The donkey was lazy, stubborn, always tired, and never wanted to carry anything. One day, the donkey suddenly fell off the bridge into the river, and the salt dissolved in the water, making the bag very light to carry. The donkey came out of the river happy for not having to carry anything, while the salesman returned home sad. The next day, while they were crossing the bridge, the donkey jumped into the river again. He decided to repeat this trick every day. The salt salesman realized the donkey's trick each time they crossed the bridge and decided to teach him a lesson. The next day, the salesman put a bag of cotton on the donkey's back, then headed to the market, then waited for him to play his trick when they crossed the bridge. When the donkey did his trick and jumped into the water on purpose, the cotton absorbed the water, and the weight on his back increased. The donkey struggled to get out of the river and get to the market with the wet cotton. The donkey learned his lesson and never played the trick again, and the salesman was very happy that his idea had worked. The Wolf and the Lamb. In a green valley, the sun was shining. The grass was plentiful, and the flock was feeding and enjoying both nature and the delicious grass. There was one small sheep who loved to eat a lot. Over time, he wandered here and there looking for fresh, delicious grass, and was unaware that he had strayed far from his flock. The hungry wolf was closely following him, waiting for the shepherd to lose sight of him. When the little sheep realized he was lost and far away from the flock, he decided to go back and join them again. Meanwhile, the wolf suddenly came out of hiding. The sheep was terrified, certain that he wouldn't get away from the wolf, so he thought of a trick that might work. He asked the wolf, "Are you going to eat me?" "Yes, I am," said the wolf. "Can you wait for a while? I've eaten a lot of grass, and my tummy is full of grass. If you eat me now, you'll feel as if you're eating grass. So you better wait until it's digested," said the lamb. The wolf thought for a moment and then said, "Fine, I'll wait. I've been watching you for a while, and I can wait some more." Yes, the lamb's trick worked. But now what? Time passed quickly, and the wolf was getting ready again to kill the lamb. But the lamb stopped him again, saying, "Dear wolf, please wait some more. The grass hasn't been digested yet. If you eat me now, you will find a lot of grass in my tummy. Let me dance. That will make it digest easier." The wolf was annoyed, but agreed to wait a bit longer so he could eat delicious meat, free of the taste of grass. The little lamb madly danced for a while. Then he suddenly stopped. "Why have you stopped?" asked the wolf. "I can't dance without any music. Do you see this bell around my neck? Can you untie it and shake it hard so I can dance quickly to digest the grass in my tummy?" asked the lamb. The wolf was ready to do anything to eat the lamb, so he untied the bell on the lamb's neck and shook it as hard as he could. Meanwhile, the shepherd was looking for the little lamb and heard the bell ringing. He saw the wolf and the lamb, so he ran toward the wolf with his stick. When the wolf saw the shepherd, he ran away. The little lamb was saved by his own cleverness. The little lamb learned from this situation that even someone weak can win over the mighty using tricks and common sense. The Wise Man. Once upon a time, there was a wise man living in a small village with poor villagers who knew him for his wisdom. The villagers had been coming to him to complain about their situation and poverty, while others looked for answers to their problems. And the wise man listened to them all and generously helped them. But the villagers were always complaining about the same problems that they had faced in their lives every single time. One day, the wise man gathered them and told them a joke, and everybody laughed. Then he told them the same joke again, and only a few of them smiled. When he told the joke for the third time, nobody laughed. The wise man smiled and said, "You can't laugh at the same joke over and over. So why are you always crying over the same problem? Worrying won't solve your problems. Instead, it wastes your time and energy. You must let go of complaining and face your problems so you can come up with a suitable solution."